The Mavs are on the brink of elimination. They lost Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals and are now down 3-0. Coaches and players spoke after last night's loss in Dallas.
Jason, what happened there late in the second quarter when you lost that 9-point lead, and also in the third quarter when they outscored you by 9?
Well, I think we won the second quarter. No, they're a team of runs. They went on a run. And again, we gave up 30 points in that third. Just understanding you can't give them second opportunities. When you give them second opportunities, Clay and Steph and Wiggins is playing at a high level for them, and they've been here before, so they understand what they have to do, and they did it, tonight.
Jason, you talked about Wiggins. He might be their fifth best player, sixth best player some nights, and he's a former #1 pick. You don't have a player like that on your roster outside of Luka. Does that just speak to maybe the talent disparity of both of the rosters right now?
Well, we're not gonna match guy for guy. We got to throw our team at their team, and Wiggins is a talented player. He's an all-star, and so when you look at what they're asking him to do, he's doing it at a high level. Again, second opportunities, 18 second chance points against the Warriors, it just puts you in a bad situation. And when we're not shooting the ball straight, it really, puts a lot of pressure on our defense. And, to give up 109 to a very offensive-minded team, you should be in the game. You should have a chance to win. This wasn't so-called their best game, but they found a way to win.
Jason, 2 straight games, Luka scored 40 plus. Haven't been able to win, obviously, either one of those. How do you feel about kind of his individual brilliance versus balance, or is it just a case of, hey, guys are getting shots and not knocking them down?
I think there's a combination. We just didn't shoot the ball well. Reggie's 0 for 10. Dorian's 2 for 7, or is it 3 for 7? When you look at the 3 guys who scored, Spencer, LD, and JB, that's just not enough against the Warriors. You need a lot more guys to participate offensively, but we're getting good looks, and they're just not dropping. Again, I've said this, jump shooting teams, we're going to live and die by the 3, but we're also dying by not getting the rebound and giving them second opportunities.
Coach, Reggie had a great morning, got a great award, but that certainly had a struggling night, and also may have, I guess, had an injury. Could you just talk about the course of the day and how tough tonight's game was for him?
Yeah, well, we're not judging Reggie on this one game. Reggie's been incredible for us all season. He never complains. He comes to work in a great mood, true pro. He got a big-time award, today for what he does off the floor. But listen, when all the great shooters have been there, you make some, you miss some, and he's a pro. He'll be ready to go tomorrow, and he'll be ready for Game 4. But the things that we've asked him to do on the defensive end on this journey, he's doing it at a very high level, and unfortunately, he just didn't make shots. It's kind of cool that he didn't make shots, but he was only -5, in the plus minus. That's pretty cool. That you don't score or make a shot, but you compete on the other end, and that's who he is.
Jason, we all know the numbers when you're down 3-0 in a series. What kind of message do you send or try to send to your team now?
Yeah, it's just one game. Get ready for Game 4, and just that's all we can focus on. I think I said this in the last series. This is just the beginning of this journey. I know you guys had us winning the championship before the season started, and that's a joke if you didn't get it. But this is a lot bigger than just this one game or this series or this. This is huge for our franchise because none of you guys had us here. You guys were all supposed to be on vacation, and yeah, I know, and so it's cool to go through this, and we're going against. You can call them a dynasty. I saw this in San Antonio where you go against they have 3 great players who will be all Hall of Famers. And this is a great lesson learned from us. This isn't, the end. This is just the beginning. I said this in the Phoenix series, if you guys recall. You guys got good memories. That this is the beginning of the journey, and we'll be ready to go for Game 4.
Jason, speaking of going through things, you guys have bounced back, been a good bounce-back team all season, but I don't think you'd have to bounce back from losing a 19-point lead in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Do you think that there was any hangover at the start of this game? You fell behind, you did battle back, but I wonder if the early going, you sensed any hangover?
No, I didn't think there was any hangover. We got great looks. The ball went in and out, no different than in Game 2. The ball just didn't fall for us, and that happens in the game of basketball or any sport. Sometimes the ball falls for you, sometimes it doesn't. We got great looks. Again, it's a 10-point game. It's an 8-point game. We just couldn't get over the hump, and you got to give the Warriors credit for that.
Jason, you mentioned the whole experience part of it. Do you think that you or even your team can appreciate the experience that you're getting just in getting this far, regardless of the result?
I would say yes and no. When you're in battle, you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're just focused on the thing at hand, and that's trying to make a basket or get a stop. But as we reflect this summer, whenever that starts, we'll understand what we did and how we can get better. And that's the blessing of this whole thing is, we truly believe we belong here, and we're going to keep fighting, but we're also going to get better from this experience.
Jason, when you look at the missed threes, the offensive rebounds, do you sense fatigue in any way could be just adding up at this point with how many minutes you've played, Luka starting injured, just the lack of off days?
Yeah, you're going to have to ask them that question. I don't have too much movement when I stand up or sit down. That's a player's question of are they tired?
Awesome.
Just following up on that, though, 47-33 rebounding, 18-4 second chance points. I know you're playing small lineups. What are you seeing as far as what factors into rebounding being that lopsided?
Yeah, we just have to, be physical and make contact to keep them from crashing. A lot of times the hit is too late. And so when you're playing small, we have to just, we got to hit first. We can't hit second.
Spencer, what happened there in that third quarter? I mean, they known for coming out in the third quarter and just hitting you guys in the mouth, and they did it again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they've won championships. They've played a high level for a long time. They're known to do that, to your point, and we didn't necessarily respond. So, that's why you had to swing in momentum.
How do you guys close that rebounding gap? It was at 18 at one point, ended up 14.
I think it's just a collective effort. A lot of times we play small, so that means we all got to come in there together. Myself, I probably had a couple, could have got in there with the guys, and then, Bull, JB, Dorian, we all got to go in there and crash the collective.
Spencer, we know the numbers when you're down 3-0 in a series. What kind of attitude or mindset do you guys have and carry into Game 4?
One game at a time. Oh, I mean, that's really it. I mean, we've had a chance to win. Technically all of them, but really games 2 and 3. We didn't sustain 48 minutes of play at a high level. So, you got to make the adjustments needed, play for 48 minutes, and take it one game at a time. People come back from 3-1, so, add a game onto that.
Spence, every time you're out there, you're guarding an all-star or a max play or someone with a huge pedigree. Collectively, do you guys ever feel overwhelmed from a talent standpoint, that this team is just really good from a talent standpoint?
No. Look, man, people get paid in this league for a variety of reasons. It doesn't necessarily make you more talented than another guy. And this is not to take anything away from the Warriors. Obviously, they are phenomenal. They're a dynasty, right? But no. For example, right, like Draymond, He's a max player. He's one of the greatest role players of all time. But he's not a traditional standalone max guy, right? Like, you're not going to put him on the floor and be like, hey, go get 30, right? So, you know, they've got a great team makeup, great chemistry. They're essentially a dynasty, but no, like, you don't walk on the floor and be like, like, damn, they're just so much more talented than us.
Spencer, Jason has said over the past couple games that the threes just aren't falling and they just aren't, going straight, if that makes sense. Besides just waiting for them to kind of recalibrate, if you will, is there anything you guys can do differently or anything that you guys can work on or do in practice to fix those things, or is it just a timing and a patience kind of deal?
I mean, obviously we can attack the rim for sure, try to get layups and free throws, things of that nature. But at the same time, I mean, we're constructed the way we're constructed, right? Like, we've played at least since I've been here, right, last half of the year. I don't think you get to the Western Conference Finals and then, obviously you stop missing shots, but you can't necessarily, like, throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, you still got to trust Bullock and Doe and Maxey and those guys to hit threes. And then, obviously, when it's not falling like that, then it's on Luka, myself, and JB to, be aggressive in the paint.
Hey, Luka. I asked Jason if he felt that you guys were getting fatigued, if all the minutes, all the heavy minutes, we're finally adding up to any degree. He said I should ask you guys. So do you sense that at all?
I don't think it's fatigue, Sometimes at some point in the game you're going to be fatigued. But I don't think so, I think the rebounds, the second chance points are a big problem in this series.
What happened in the third quarter when the Warriors really pulled away?
That's what I said. Like I said, second chance points are killing us. The rebounding they had. That rebound, that's, I think, again, in all three games, and that's making a big difference, I think.
Luka, Jason talked about, even though you guys haven't won a game this series, that this is really a building block for you guys and for the franchise and just the experience of having this stage. What do you think you guys have learned game to game? Maybe not so much in strategy, but just in terms of the atmosphere and the competitiveness level and just this kind of stage.
I mean, that's gonna be difficult. Every game's gonna be really difficult. So it's not over yet, but it's not gonna be easy. The Warriors not gonna give you anything easy. So I think we're gonna learn a lot, and we're still learning. But you gotta come 100% every game.
You guys have been gone from home for a week, and we're just coming back for the first time tonight. I wondered if you could take me back through when you think back to the highs of the Game 7 win and then the low of losing the 19-point game at Golden State. Do you think that y'all ever came off that high of do you think coming off that high of that Game 7 affected you guys going into this series or not?
What do you mean by high?
The euphoria of winning at Game 7, the excitement, the thrill that you said you couldn't get the smile off your face after Game 7.
I mean, yeah, it was, I think, an unbelievable win. Like I said, nobody had us being here in this conference finals. But I don't know, man. I think the Warriors are playing incredible. Everybody knows their role. Everybody just stays together. They're a long-built team. They've been together for a lot. And I think they're playing great basketball. So that's what's going to be really difficult. And this past 3 games has been very difficult.
Can you give us your view of what happened when Wiggins dunked on you?
I mean, I got hit a little bit, but that was impressive. I'm not going to lie. I saw the video again. I was like, oof. That was pretty incredible. I wish I had those bunnies.
And, this is 2 straight games. You've had 40-plus. Obviously, you lose both. This team's now, in your career, 2-6 when you get 40 in a playoff game. What's kind of the balance between your individual brilliance and finding a way to win against elite competition in the playoffs?
If I would knew that, I would have executed. But I mean, that's a tough question. Like I say, I'm still learning. I think the first 2 quarters, I played very bad. That's on me. But I'm still learning, and I think after this season is done, whatever we are, I think I'm gonna look back, and learn a lot of things. It's my first time in conference finals in the NBA. So I'm 23, man. I'm still learning a lot.
Luka, following the Game 3 loss tonight, what's the big thing that you'd like to see the team collectively improve on heading into Game 4?
I think, like I say, the rebounding, we got to be way better. We got to be more physical. It's really tough with Looney. He's an unbelievable player. He's very underrated. Nobody talks about him, but I think he's been doing an amazing job. And it's tough with him. He's a strong dude, and he helps him a lot. He's a great role player, and we got to do a better job boxing him out.
And despite the loss tonight, what's it like just to be back in home and get the atmosphere back on your side?
It's always great to be home, And these fans, I enjoy since the first day I came here to Dallas. So I was really excited for this game. Unfortunately, we couldn't get them a win, but we'll try next game to get them a win.
Game 4 is tomorrow night at 8 at the American Airlines Center.